there is something really special about being in the right place at the right time. And today I want to talk about how in your riding, if you could apply the click your fingers rule, it is going to help you to be in the right place at the right time for all of the things, okay? So today I'm going to tell you how to use this rule to put one of the best things you can onto autopilot for you and your horse. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Strides podcast. My name is Lorna Leeson. I'm an equestrian trainer and coach, and I love working with riders from all over the world to help them figure out all of the things in their riding so that they can go and become better riders and train their horse, especially if they're working alone. Okay, so imagine if there was something that you could actively do every moment that you're in the saddle that is almost going to guarantee that you're in the right place at the right time. Would you do it? Yeah, I bet you would. And you know what it is? It's applying the click your fingers rule to your position. Now, look, I get that talking about your position is maybe not very fun and exciting and a topic that so many riders get so excited about. But when we're talking about improving as riders, your position's really important, hey? In fact, if you could begin to apply this rule the very next time you're in the saddle, I bet you it is going to help you. I bet you, in fact, I can guarantee you're going to get a positive result out of this, okay? Because when you're in the right place at the right time, when it comes to riding, you are able to more effectively communicate with your horse. You're able to communicate more clearly with your horse. And therefore, it basically stands to reason that you and your horse are going to have a better connection and there's going to be a better quality of work happening for the two of you as well, okay? So, your position, really important. Applying the click your fingers rule to your position will really help you to not only develop your balance in the saddle, but also to develop your independent aids as you go on in your riding journey, because those independent aids are actually what's going to really and truly help you to begin to train your horse and to work together a little bit better. So, all that being said and done, what is the click your fingers rule? Now, I've spoken about this about 100 years ago here on the podcast. So I thought, you know what? This is the perfect time to just revisit it. The click your fingers rule is exactly what it sounds like. It's a click of your fingers. But I want you to imagine that I'm in the arena with you, okay? Or wherever you're going to ride your horse, in a paddock, on a country lane, in the field, it makes no difference. I'm there with you, okay? We're working together. And I'm a little bit magic. And by clicking my fingers, I can make your horse vanish, which means that you're going to land on your feet. We hope. The click your fingers rule is basically a way that you can really and truly test if you are using your own body to balance and to support yourself, or if you're maybe, just maybe, using your horse. Because if you're using your horse to balance and support yourself, I'm going to burst your bubble right now. You're not going to improve as a rider. You're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay where you are. You're going to stay in passenger mode. It is going to be incredibly difficult to move into rider mode. And that's where we want to be. So the click your fingers rule, when you apply it, remember, you and your horse, you're there and boom, your horse is gone. Where would you land? That's the rule. Okay, that is the rule. You have to all the time apply that rule, always, because we want you to land on your feet. This is regardless of if you're walking, if you're trotting, if you're cantering, if you're galloping, if you're going up a hill, if you're going down a hill, if you're approaching a jump, if you're taking off at a jump, if you're at the apex of the jump, if you're landing from the jump, if you're getting away from the jump. It makes no difference. We want to be able to apply the click your fingers rule that if your horse vanished, you would land on your 2 feet. Really important. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, it all comes down to really and truly identifying how you right now are supporting yourself in the saddle. Are you depending on yourself for balance, or are you depending on your horse? Because riding school ponies all around the world, they are endlessly patient. They are so great. That's why they do the job they do. They need more love than they get. They really are so special. Nobody would ever get any further if it was not for these very, very, very special helpers that we have. And the reason I say that is because initially when you learn to ride, you are going to depend on your horse for a lot of the balance and the support. It's inevitable. It has to happen that way. But you need to, at some point, begin to shift that. You need to become more responsible for your own balance and stability in the saddle. And when you're applying the click your fingers rule, you're actually just basically making sure that you're in the best possible position to do this. You are looking at your alignment, and eventually by being fairly consistent with applying this rule and kind of testing yourself all the way, giving yourself a little spot test if you want, okay? Through the ride, you'll actually be able to put your position and your posture, because they both tie into this rule, you'll be able to put them onto autopilot. And that then, when you've created your own balance and your own stability, that's when you can then go ahead and begin really developing your independent aids. So many riders, they'll say, what do you want? Oh, I want independent aids. And meanwhile, they couldn't ride one side of a swinging gate. So it's really, really, really important that you are able to balance yourself. And this click your finger rule, when applied, it requires that if you're going to pass the test, hey? You have to be balancing yourself. So it's a good one to work on. Okay, so as I said, just to apply the rule, all you have to do is basically imagine your horse vanished. Like if you're listening to this on your horse right now, imagine your horse has vanished. Like he's gone, abracadabra, gone, okay? He's just gone. And you are going to obviously come down and you're going to land on the ground. Now, if you can land on your feet all of the time, that is marvelous. Well done, job well done. You've done it. There you go. You passed the test. However, if you tend to allow your lower leg to go visiting your horse's elbow or shoulder regions every now and then, yeah, you're going to land on your backside. Maybe for you, though, your lower leg goes the opposite way. It goes towards the flank, kind of like, ooh, it's off there behind you somewhere. You're going to land on your face, okay? Similarly, if you're not balancing, there's this lovely balance, especially when you're jumping or when you're in light seat, okay, or 2-point seat. There's this balance between your shoulders and your backside. They weigh each other out, if you want, okay? And it's all dependent on your core and then that lovely secure lower leg. That's why I'm going on about the lower leg a little bit. But it depends on that in order for your backside and your shoulders to begin balancing themselves out. It's almost like an old weighing scales, okay? That's kind of, if you can imagine that, and they're all the time balancing each other out. When you're able to consistently be in that position, whether you're, again, jumping, going up hills, going down hills, all of the things, in light seat, galloping, whatever, you're going to land on your own 2 feet. You are balanced. And it's through that balance that, as I said, you can have those independent aids. But not only that, you're in the exact right place to communicate to your horse and also to support your horse if your horse gets into a little bit of difficulty, a spot of bother, okay? Maybe your horse loses his balance. Maybe your horse loses the rhythm or the tempo. Maybe your horse, the ground is a little bit unlevel and your horse is like, whoa, speed wobble. When you're in the right place, you can make the difference and bring the two of you back to where you want it to be. It is so, so, so important. So as I mentioned, you apply this all the time. This needs to happen all the time. And what I'm going to suggest you do today, okay, or at least over the next day or two, is to get some photographs or videos of yourself in the saddle. And I want you to literally just imagine your horse vanished. How would you land? Would you land on your feet? Would you land on your face? Would you land on your backside? What's going on there? You will begin, when you can kind of take your horse, blank your horse out, abracadabra, make it vanish, okay? When you can take your horse out of that picture and just see you and your position and your way of carrying and holding your body at that exact moment, when you can see that, then you'll be able to begin to start making changes to your overall position and alignment that when you consistently then apply the rule, horse gone, what happens? Horse gone, what happens? And over and over and over again, it goes onto autopilot. The right thing gets put onto autopilot, and you can begin then to, as we said, be in the right place at the right time to really direct you and your horse forward to where you want to be. Okay, I am going to leave it at that for today. If you're keen on learning more about these sort of things, okay, the things that are going to make a massive difference from you being a passenger on the saddle to actually being a rider, and you and your horse working together, and you're able to train your horse now, you're able to improve your horse, not just sit there, then make sure you go over to returningtoriding.com, sign up for the waitlist, because I am going to be doing a live training very soon on all of this, okay, to help you to actually get the right things onto autopilot so you and your horse can move forward in your training together. You can sign up again over at returningtoriding.com. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Have an amazing weekend. I'll chat to you soon. Be good. Bye.